Sure. So I think, as we discussed, I think circularity and sustainability, I mean, we believe that cannot be an afterthought in our business. Uh, of course, as we see in normal life also, that necessity is mother of all. At times, it's influenced, and if you could really generate, I think that's the key. Okay. Here, of course, when we talk about circular economy, I think it's more about it, not about us, but the future. And future also not only for us, but the generation to come. Okay. So there are certain specific actions, of course, coming from European organization, which is ASSA ABLOY, is of course I think mandatory, and of course it's the uh, in the DNA. Okay, and that's what we talk about. How do we really create culture? So it's all about how do we behave on a day-to-day basis, in simple words, right? So what things we accept, what things we avoid, what things we reward, what things we reject, right? Simply sets the tone at the top, and that's how I think it's one of the most important thing that we really look forward to, that how do we utilize our innovation in terms of not only reducing the carbon footprints, the reduction in terms of energy, the reduction in terms of waste, the reduction in terms of course, human efforts, right? We go beyond that, and we ensure that from the designing stage itself of the product, we take care of these aspects, which helps us. Secondly, of course, the matrix has to be in place so that you know if you are taking some efforts at organization level, whether they are really sustainable, yes, no, whether there is a serious commitment to really follow that or not. So I think generation sitting here, I think understand the two things which I have said, that necessity, of course, is mother of all. Okay. At times, of course, you are pushed. Okay. But second time, if you could really generate that, I think that's the stage we should be on to, and especially that responsibility lies with this generation. Okay. I think coming to now more specific aspects of business, I think as I said that we have already started the metrics. Metrics could be made various in terms of what kind of recycled raw material that you have used, what kind of again carbon footprint that you have thought that by putting 1 to 3 efforts you will be reducing. Okay, those are getting reported at a global level. Okay, and of course the board discuss about all those reports, and there is clear progression which is again reported, because that creates education. I think most of the time people are not aware, and that's where I think things go wrong. I think as I said earlier also, that it's more about how do we educate not only ourselves but the surroundings and the environment and the ecosystem as well, that what's important. So in those efforts what we do is we go out to our suppliers also for educating them that how they also need to follow the aspects of circular economy and of course sustainability. We not only stay there, but we go beyond that, that in case, of course, many countries have different materials, or whatever we use as a raw material may not be allowed. So are we really declaring those into the product? I think most of the companies may not follow those 100% ethical ways, but of course we at ASSA ABLOY, we ensure that those products are also very well defined, so that people are aware that what is being used in those products. Value chain mapping, which is I think a fantastic exercise, and of course a very practical way of doing things. So anything you are doing in any of the department also, if you do that value chain mapping, I think not only of course the raw material that you would be able to really avoid in terms of wastage, but in fact you will be conscious enough to not to do it in first space only. So many of the things you will not even require. I think of course those concepts you must be studying also, value stream mapping, or so if you do that, I think most of the time you will realize by yourself whether I really need that step itself, yes, no, whether I really need that material, yes, no, and what quantity. So of course tools and techniques are there to help you, but even if they are not there, simple way of doing value stream mapping, whatever you are doing, even if you start mapping your day from maybe from the time you get up to you sleep, if you start mapping that, and if it is something which you think that there is one or two or three things which you are doing which are not adding value to you achieve your ultimate goal, I think that wastages also you can just avoid, simply by adopting to that. And that's what I think we do. So value stream mapping in everything we do. We implement that. So being from construction industry, I think now as the education has gone up, and of course everybody is understanding how beautiful it is for not only for the companies to make profits, but think about the future generation as well, where there is less stress on the resources. I think as a part of the world, we are already utilizing the resources by around 1.x multiple of, right? So that itself is alarming that where are we heading, right? So nowadays, I think the customer have also started asking us, as part of the products, that are your products having sustainability certification. So at a world level, I think of course we are moving in the right direction, where education is helping, of course, not only just to think about profit, but of course the people and planet as well. So we also believe as a ASSA ABLOY company that we focus on not only profit but people and planet also. And yes, I think when you do that, I think the ecosystem itself comes to help you, and partners also understand if I'm selling X product at X plus 1% or 2% higher than the other market players, why it is so. So I think it's very, very good question actually, to really understand and appreciate your partners, your vendors, and when the ecosystem is built that around those kind of belief systems, I think everybody wins, and that's how beautifully it would be for everybody to understand why we do what we do and what is the importance of circular economy and of course sustainability.